This will be a continuation of the video I made last night. You can check that one out. So I talked about astrology, the cycles, the nakshatras, so the energies that we go through. Look, it's the winter time. Up north, we get this cold weather. So I'm basically going to tell you what these nakshatras are and what they mean. So, the beginning of winter, it starts December 21st, so you got the winter solstice. You got Mula Nakshatra, which starts Sagittarius. So you start with the uprooting. It's known for being kind of harsh. It's destructive. You're transforming something. When you look outside, you see a lot of destruction right now. A lot of it is manufactured. There's a controlling element to it. But the point is, we have a world out here. And look, it's this white snow. It's made of chemicals, and who knows what's in there. But there's a lot of planning and strategy that goes into making these seasons and these cycles the way that they are. And one thing I've heard is like it brings that transformation element. When we get to December 21st, it starts at Mula, the uprooting. Where after that is the ashatas. There's two different ashatas, Purva and Uttara ashata. Purva ashata is like watering the seeds. So right after the Mula uprooting, you uproot all of your fears and everything that kind of doesn't serve you. You destroy it and you plant something new. Then you water the seeds in Purva ashata. That's the early victory, followed by later victory in Uttara ashata, where you put in the work. It's guaranteed victory. So you live by certain principles in Uttara ashata. You understand what time is and truth, karma, and all these things, and you stay disciplined to it. You put in the work. You do what you know you need to do. Then you'll be guaranteed a victory. But you got to follow through with each step. So that's where you get like this result of a victory. After that, then we get into Capricorn. Like that's Uttara ashata is where it starts Capricorn. After that, you get Shravana, which is it's the preserver, and it deals with listening. The symbol is an ear, so you're listening. It's kind of like where you're meditating. You're preserving everything, making sure everything's in place. If you think about Capricorn, that's what it is. You're not taking huge risks. You're keeping everything steady and preserving everything. Followed by Dhanishta, you bridge Capricorn and Aquarius together. You get wealth. That's where you experience wealth. So you combine the success of Capricorn, of that, gaining status, success, with the social aspect of Aquarius, and you bridge them together. You get Dhanishta, followed by Shata, which is the middle of Aquarius. It's a social energy of healing. It's healing humanity. Like 100 physicians is like the symbol, like a big circle with 100 physicians. And what it does is it heals people. So this is where the nodal the nodal aspect called Rahu. That's where what am I trying to say here? Rahu's in Shata. So people are kind of focused on this humanitarian effort to heal. A lot of medicine and efforts just to get people to heal, feel good, cure their diseases as a whole. So after that is the end of Aquarius. You get to Purva Bhadrapada. You get like a lightning strike of inspiration. So So you're ending Aquarius, moving into Pisces. You understand that you're divine. You can go beyond this world. And then the Purva Vajrapada is followed by Uttara Vajrapada. It's where you go deeper into the ocean. It's the middle of Pisces. You find more depth. You get to deeper layers of your spiritual being connecting, with that aspect. So you go beyond this world completely, and then you end it with Revati, which is, being led home. It's the final nakshatra, the end of Pisces. And each nakshatra is 13 degrees, so the final 13 degrees is Revati. It's a sheep is a symbol here. And you are being led home. And all you got to do is surrender. And that finishes the final aspect of the whole zodiac. It's that I just explained all the nakshatras from Sagittarius to Pisces. So this is like a winter kind of energy, everything that I described. Although when you get to the Revati and the end, Pisces, you're actually in spring. Because Vedic's different than Western. In Western, you start spring in Aries. But I described a lot of the colder parts of the year. And, we look out, and this is what we deal with. I look out the window, I see snow. No one's been able to do anything to stop the chemtrails and the measures taken to manufacture this snow and cold weather. So I don't know what else to say about that. It's just it's not fun. It's a scarce kind of cycle that we go through, even though it's manufactured. This is scarcity. The cold weather doesn't bring expansion. So the reason I'm being called to express a lot of this about the winter cycle, this cold cycle that we go through, is because you got to be prepared for this. It's much easier to find yourself in trouble in cold weather because it takes from you. It's merciless. It's brutal. If you're outside in warm weather, generally speaking, you can grow and expand. But if you're not prepared for the cold weather, if you don't know how to adjust your body, it can be very painful, it can be harmful. Your body can pay the consequence of it. So how do we deal with this? And this is why I like to make videos during this time of year, because I'm very reflective. It's like I'm going inward. You ever heard of hibernation, where it gets so cold, animals start to hibernate? Well, guess what? Now I'm reflecting. I'm going inward. And that's why I have a lot to say, because all these thoughts are coming to my mind. And I'm looking out the window, looking at all these trees, and no leaves on the trees. It's just a lot of death that I see. And this is how the world has become in the winter. This is what's been done. And, I think about the Vedic cycle, and it kind of just makes me try to make the connections on a deeper level, because Sagittarius, like I said, with Mula, it has that destructive element. And even before that, at the very end of the fall, right before the winter solstice, you get the end of Scorpio, which is Jesta. And Jesta deals with purging through the pain and fighting for a deep cause and being able to fight to the death. Like literally, like you will put your life on the line to fight for whatever you care about. Like you will die for what you care about. That's what Jesta is. So that it kind of preludes what happens at the winter solstice in Mula, where we uproot everything. And it can be a very destructive cycle, and you got to be careful because it doesn't play around. I guess what I'm trying to say is this this cold weather, it doesn't play around, so you can't play around with it. During the summer, people are going out to the beach, having fun. You can just do whatever. Like you see more sunshine and warmth. And the cold weather, I just needed to say it doesn't have that element to it. So it's something that you need to consider to be prepared for, because the days will get shorter, obviously, and time doesn't stop. And you got to be ready. You got to be prepared, because the next day you got to go to work or whatever commitment that you need to commit to. Whatever you have to do the next day, it's not just going to stop. And it can get more difficult because people tend to get more depressed in the cold and the darkness. So I'm just trying to share ideas on how we can be prepared for this going forward, because it's really not an easy time. And even the summer is not always easy, but the winter's just different. We have this freezing cold, and the entire country is going through this cold stretch, these snowstorms, and there's nothing that we can really do about it. It shows how we don't have control. Right now, there's a lot of Pisces energy. Saturn's in Pisces. I know that Neptune is an outer planet. It's going through Pisces. Rahu just went through Pisces, now in Aquarius. So with Saturn in Pisces especially, it's showing how we don't have control over our reality. If I wanted to make it 75 degrees right now and warm, it's just not happening. So I like to draw those connections and try to use my mind, use critical thinking, and connect with people this way where I can share these ideas. Because it's Vedic astrology is fascinating to me. So maybe I should write all those nakshatras out, make it a little easier for you guys to see. But that's all I had to say for now.